Students can face a range of emotions while in school, but mental health services are being impacted due to budget cuts by state lawmakers and the increased need for those mental health services in our schools. Joining Mid-Michigan Matters today to discuss the need for mental health services is Williamston Community School Superintendent Dr. Adam Spina and Okemos Superintendent John Hood. Gentlemen, thank you both for joining us today. And we might have some breaking news, I guess, coming out of this, because the budget was cut, but some of that money was restored. How much money was cut from school budgets?
Well, I think we want to start with just kind of sharing a little bit of a background, if it's okay,
Sure,
with why
go
this
ahead.
is so important to us and why we wanted to talk to you about it today.
So student mental health is certainly tied to overall health of our students, both physical and emotional safety for kids.
Right.
And the government is tied in that 31A money, mental health services along with school security. And I was Superintendent Okemos during our swatting incident 2 years back, and really just hit me how hard it is for districts to navigate and provide those services that kids need in a consistent manner, so we can provide the safe environment for them to be in, but also that confident self-concept to be successful as students.
Yeah. Having the opportunity to listen to what was going on in Okemos as the neighboring district, I mean, that was a very significant and eye-opening event.
Right.
My passion for school safety comes from a different angle. Okay. I was deployed in Afghanistan, and towards the end of my tour there was when the Sandy Hook tragedy took place. And so it was a real gut check for me, trying to rationalize, why are we doing this overseas when we can't even keep our children at school safe back home? And so since then, this has become my top priority and passion. And so I think one of the reasons we're here today is to talk about our concerns with funding, and not have that short-term memory of why this is such an important thing for our schools.
And how much money was potentially cut from your budgets? Was it millions?
So in our case, our funding was reduced this year to $33,000, and that would cover everything: school safety, student mental health initiatives. Wow. And that would be a significant increase, down from a couple $100,000 the year prior.
And ours was combined 31AA and 31O, which is no longer in place. We had about $1 million, and that was cut in half last year, and then this year cut a couple more $100,000.
But we're waiting to find out if some of that money's been restored, and that could happen as soon as today.
Yeah, and the restoration that they're looking at with the 31AA was from about a $500 million budget back to, I think, $150 million. So even though it's being restored, still significant cuts.
And we did a lot of advocacy, both locally, but then also across the state, to make sure that this was prioritized. I think when we have our elected officials say school safety and student mental health is important, the funding to support those initiatives and to keep them going is imperative.
And the need is not decreasing.
No, it's not.
The need is increasing among students because of social media, just everything that goes into the pressures of being a student. Yes?
Absolutely. I mean, the need has never been greater across the gamut. Our responsibility as school officials to keep students safe is critical, but one of the most proactive ways you can go about accomplishing that is by mental health initiatives and making sure that you're addressing those needs and those concerns before something significant were to occur. But funding to maintain those initiatives, and I know the station's done some great pieces on some of the work that's being done in Williamston, those things work, but you need to have the resources behind them to keep them going.
You need the money there to keep it going.
Sustainability and building those relationships with kids and having those programs be there long term is what we're advocating for.
Okay, gentlemen, thanks for joining us. We hope you get that good news about some of that funding coming back to your schools today. All right, thanks for joining us.
Thanks for having us.
All right.